Croatia should be invisible. Fewer than 4 million people. A small coastline country on the edge of Europe. Yet somehow, it gave the world football miracles, King's Landing, Nikola Tesla, and the modern necktie. That is Croatia. At first glance, Croatia looks like a postcard. Blue Adriatic water, orange rooftops, medieval walls, island towns, and slow Mediterranean afternoons. But if you only see the beauty, you miss the real story. Croatia is not just a beach country. It is a small European nation built from war, migration, coastline, inheritance, football, tourism, and pride. Croatia sits in southeastern Europe, on the northwestern edge of the Balkan Peninsula. To the west, it faces the Adriatic Sea. To the north are Slovenia and Hungary. To the east are Serbia and Bosnia and Herzegovina. To the south is Montenegro. Its land area is about 56,600 square kilometers, smaller than many regions and larger countries. But its shape is unusual. Croatia bends around Bosnia and Herzegovina like a crescent, giving it a long coastline and a strategic position between Central Europe, the Balkans, and the Mediterranean. That geography explains much of Croatia's identity. The coast feels Mediterranean. The capital, Zagreb, feels Central European. The interior carries the memory of the Balkans. Few countries this small contain so many different worlds in one body. Croatia has a population of roughly 3.9 million. That small number is one of its biggest challenges. Like many countries in southeastern Europe, Croatia faces aging, low birth rates, and migration. Young people often leave villages and inland towns for Zagreb, the coast, or other European Union countries. Some rural areas feel emptier than they should. From the outside, Croatia looks relaxed. But underneath that calm is a serious question. Who will stay, who will work, and who will build the next generation? Still, Croatia is not poor by Balkan standards. It is a developed European country and one of the strongest economies to emerge from the former Yugoslavia. It joined the European Union in 2013. In 2023, it adopted the euro and entered the Schengen area. That means Croatia is now tied more closely than ever to the European core. For ordinary life, Croatia offers something many people dream about: low pressure. Salaries are lower than in Germany or Scandinavia, but life can feel less aggressive. The pace is slower. The sea is closer. Coffee is not just a drink, it is a social institution. People do not always live to work. They work to live, eat, talk, rest, visit family, and disappear to the coast when they can. Housing also changes the feeling of life. Croatia has one of the highest home ownership rates in Europe. Many homes are inherited through families, especially in towns and rural areas. That means a large share of people avoid the rent and mortgage pressure that defines life in many Western cities. It does not make life perfect, but it removes one of the heaviest burdens from daily survival. For many families, that single difference changes everything. Less panic, less monthly pressure, and more room to breathe. Healthcare follows the European social model. People contribute through public insurance, and the system helps protect families from the worst financial shocks of illness. There are waiting times, limits, and regional gaps. But for many ordinary people, serious illness does not automatically mean total financial collapse. That matters. Croatia also feels safe. Crime is relatively low, streets are generally calm, and many visitors are surprised by how peaceful coastal towns and inland cities feel. The society is not obsessed with speed. Administration can be slow, and bureaucracy can be annoying. But the culture often values balance more than endless hustle. There is less pressure to constantly perform success. Daily social life also feels more equal than many outsiders expect. A waiter, a mechanic, a teacher, and an office worker may have different incomes, but the difference in social respect is not always dramatic. Hierarchy exists, of course. But Croatia is not a place where every conversation has to prove status. Dignity matters more than showing off power. Then comes football. For a country of fewer than 4 million people, Croatia's football record is almost ridiculous. In 1998, it finished third at the World Cup. In 2018, it reached the final. In 2022, it finished third again. That is not normal. That is a small country repeatedly punching far above its weight. The red and white checkered shirt became more than a uniform. It became a global symbol of discipline, resilience, and national pride. Croatia turned football into a world language. Even people who cannot find the country on a map recognize the team. Croatia's global image does not stop at sports. Dubrovnik, known as the Pearl of the Adriatic, became even more famous as a major filming location for Game of Thrones. Its stone walls, sea cliffs, and medieval streets gave the world the image of King's Landing. Tourism exploded. A city that was once a historic Adriatic port became a global fantasy destination. The same coastline that once marked the edge of empires became a stage for the modern imagination. Croatia also has a surprising link to technology. Nikola Tesla was born in Smiljan, in what is now Croatia. His work on alternating current helped shape the modern electrical age. Today, his name is known around the world, but his birthplace remains part of Croatia's scientific pride. It is a reminder that small places can produce ideas large enough to change civilization. Even the modern necktie has Croatian roots. In the 17th century, Croatian soldiers wore distinctive neck cloths that caught the attention of the French. Over time, that style evolved into the modern tie. It is a small detail, but a powerful one. Croatia has been influencing Europe quietly for centuries. So what is Croatia really? Not just a vacation country. Not just a Balkan country. Not just a football country. Croatia is a small nation with oversized cultural weight. A place where the Adriatic meets Central Europe. Where medieval walls meet mass tourism. Where inherited houses reduce pressure, but empty villages reveal demographic anxiety. Where life moves slowly, but the national team plays like the country is carrying history on its back. Croatia is not powerful because it is big. It is powerful because it is dense. So much beauty, history, identity, lifestyle, talent, and pride are compressed into one small country. That is why Croatia matters. Not because it dominates the map, but because it proves a country does not need a huge population to leave a large footprint. Small country. Large footprint. That is Croatia. Would you visit Croatia for the coast, the football, the history, or the lifestyle? Tell us in the comments. Subscribe to Geo Logic and see you in the next country.
If you want to understand the logic behind the map, subscribe to Map Logic. See you in the next country.